Hello to all and assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Break Your Face TV. And as always, Abdullah Zbayd with you. I'm very happy to welcome our guest today, UFC fighter Fernando El Valiente Padilla. Fernando, welcome to Break Your Face. How you doing, brother?
Thank you, Abdallah. Really good, and you, my man. It's honestly 1 week is happening, and you can
Yeah,
hear me. I'm a little bit congested, and all these things.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just everything just fell down. So but I feel great, honestly. Fight wise, I feel
yeah.
great.
Awesome, awesome. And you should be feeling great indeed after your most recent success at UFC Fight Night, Song versus Simon, earning a TKO win in your UFC debut. Congratulations, brother. Plenty of
Thank you, man.
reason to be extra proud of this win specifically. Not only was it a very impressive performance against Julian Erosa, a dangerous opponent who's had plenty of fights in his career, 23 finishes total, but to win the way you did in your UFC debut, no jitters, flawless and absolutely accurate striking, looking like it was just another day in the office. How did it feel being there and getting the W?
Just like you see, man. I'm a guy who's really hard to hide his emotions. Like if I'm sad, people know I'm sad. If I'm happy, people clearly know that I'm happy, right? Uh, So like I always say that what I love MMA the most is because it's the realest sport. Like there's nothing as real as this. And when you get to the cage, you can do the gimmicks and you can fake it till you try till you try, because fake it till you make it is not a thing here. Um and but when you get into the cage, like it shows. It shows if you put the work, it shows if you're nervous, if you're uh focused. So like, man, I was sharp. I was sharp, focused on that fight. Uh I just wanted to fight. Like I always say, like and a lot of people think it's funny, but man, I really like to fight. I really 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 like to fight. So like 2 years, the only thing that made me was like, man, I want to get there. I want to get there. I want to get there. Um and I'm glad that I show it how I show it. I was calm on the cage. I was collected, and the finish sequence came really fast. Like I wasn't expecting that me like personally either, but it came like that, and I'm really happy that it was like that, brother.
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. You knocked him down a little bit past the 1 minute mark. His knees buckled. You continued with combos, knocked him down a second time. The ref stopped the fight before any more damage could be done. It seems clear the fight was over, and any extra time would have likely been unnecessary damage. But there were still some comments regarding the ref stopping the fight a bit early. Have you had a chance to go back and watch the fight? Do you feel like those comments are at all justified? And do you wish you got a couple of more punches in, if only to silence some of the doubters?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like for sure, I wanted to fight a little bit more. Like there's no problem with that. But I went and did my job. I think the referee wasn't wrong for what he did. Two knockdowns, 10 unanswered shots. Uh, and that last right hand that I landed, I've been watching the film for a fact. Not just because it's everywhere on my Instagram and Facebook, but I've been sitting down and watched the fight back again. And I put pause right when I land like I slow it down and I put pause right when I land that last right hand. And the referee has my point of view, right? Chris is like behind me, so that right hand, brother, like the first right hand when I he drops down to the ground and then do the shot, like I kind of was expecting that. You can see that I was a little bit collective throwing that up the right uppercut, because I kind of knew like this guy's gonna shoot, this guy's gonna stand up. I know Julian, I study him, and that second time that I throw that right hand was just I think it was a mix of things that happened, because he threw a right hand too, and his body went one way, his head went the other way. And I saw that, like, you can clearly see when I punch him like that, I'm like, damn, bro, like that was a punch. And the referee saw the same thing. I think we had the same point of view after that punch. And I think that's why he called it after two knockdowns and 10 unanswered shots, because nothing else that he throw landed. I'm pretty sure that's a good stoppage. I don't really care about the controversy and all that. I went and did my job. I stopped when the referee told me to stop, and hey, that happened.
A beautiful display of your talents. You did well indeed. You made an interesting comment post-fight in your interview with DC. Two comments actually that I'd like to ask you a little bit more about. You mentioned a lot of people had misunderstood you coming into this fight, being all happy and smiley, as you put it. Was there something specific you were referencing? Because, you know, for me, why shouldn't you be happy? Why shouldn't you be smiling? You're making your UFC debut. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I just feel that a lot of people just get into their nerves. Not no one from my camp, like people who know me, they know that I am like this 24/7. So like it's really hard to be like, ah, no, Fernando is just faking it. But I had a lot of people, like UFC people, people from my team. They were super nice. Everyone over there in the New York, man, it was amazing to be there. But you see a lot of comments, and you see also people around that they were like asking or being like, why is he so happy? Like, what's the problem with this dude? Why he's always like, oh, he might be nervous. He had to be nervous because he saw all smiles, and he's like, and he's not like that. Like, I really enjoy fighting. I enjoy being there. And obviously it was the UFC, man. Like, I had to take advantage of everything. I had to show how I am. You know, it's and then I got to show who I am to the world, not just not just to like three or four people who was watching, or like this was different. So like I'm glad that it came out that way. You know, it came out that way. What I say in the post conference, like even DC, you know, I feel that at the beginning when I was like surprised it was him, like, yeah, I see you yesterday, but man, like it's incredible have you here in the cage, about to interview me, and I can see that he's like happy, but he kind of like, hey, act professional, kid, and I'm like, yeah, like sorry. But yeah, man, this is just me. It's just how I am. I'm happy. I'm always like smiley, hugging everyone, trying to say hi, introducing myself to everyone. It's just the culture that I came from, you know. Also, but uh, but yeah, man, I there's people who love it, and there's people who know me that they really know that I am like this 24/7, and there's people who just want to hate. It's the same thing as a knockout, man. Like there's people who just want to hate. They just want to say he's not a knockdown. He's not. He's early stoppage. It's like, man, Julian, I feel that they don't discourage me. I want to do my job. I stopped when the referee told me, but they should be careful because that might discourage the other fighter. You know, like Julian is a top ranked veteran. Like he's good. He's really good. The fights that he had, and I know I make it look like it was easy, but it was countless hours of study and work and hard work, and man, I you never know. I for sure would like to fight more. I was expecting a more of a fight, but hey, again, I just went and did my job.
Good for you. Good for you. You know, haters gonna hate, and I'm so glad to see you staying true to yourself. You know, the second point you mentioned in the interview was that part of the excitement came through you finally being here after all the things you've been through in your life. For those who may not be as familiar, would you mind sharing with us a little bit more about some of the challenges that you faced on your way to get where you are today?
I mean, mostly in the one why I wasn't fighting for, it was the visa issues. I had a I had a lot of problems with them. Still not 100% done, but we are going step by step, and I'm glad that like I got to show in the UFC so people can see that like, hey man, I really need that because I'm trying to make it big. I'm trying to be a good citizen, a good fighter, a good everything in life, a good man. So I think that's the first one, the most important one, the visa for sure. But uh, I mean, there's a lot of things that happened, a lot of calls that like I couldn't take from the UFC back in the day, and a lot of things that happened in my life. Like I said it over there. Like I've been losing family back in Chihuahua, and my grandpa passed away. You know, like my grandma is getting older, and like she's getting Alzheimer and all that. So like it's really hard to sacrifice. I feel that the heaviest sacrifice that I'm making is time with them. Even for example, looking at my mom and my dad, I love it, and it's the best feeling in the world. But I can see every year that I see them is like they are older, like they don't have the same energy. For me, that's the worst sacrifice. Like the thing that I'm sacrificing the most is the time with them, and that hurts me. You know, that hurts me a lot because of the way that I am. I'm a really big in family. That's how I treat my people here. That's how I treat my team. They're my family pretty much too. But uh, but yeah, man, all that it can be rough when you come from a place where family's first, and then you have to be stuck here for 3 years, not seeing them, uh, knowing that everything over there in Chihuahua is happening. Like, man, it's incredible because I feel that a lot of the times, as fighters, we come to the United States, or we go to camps, and in 6 months, 7 months, like they don't look that much of a pass. Like at the beginning of my career in America, I was doing that. I was going every 6 months. I was going every 4 months. So like it was pretty good. I didn't felt the missing them that much. But man, these last 3 years, it's incredible how things change, people change, time just keep passing. I feel that we forget about that. It's like I want to go back to Chihuahua and see everyone the same, but man, my friends are grown ups. My mom and my dad are older. So like, yeah, man, it's not the same. But that for me is the biggest sacrifice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't imagine how difficult that is. How do you manage to stay positive and keep training throughout it? You mentioned also with the visa issues, 2 years you were in Mexico, you couldn't come to the States to fight, and now that you're here, you missed your family. Sorry.
No,
Uh,
it was opposite. I didn't went back to Mexico. I've been
oh,
staying here
sorry,
in
sorry.
America.
My apologies. My apologies. So
No, you're good. You're good.
how could you stay positive, stay focused, and train throughout all that?
Oh man, California is a hell of a place. uh, I
Kept you
think
distracted.
this, yeah, not just that, but I have like I tell you, I try to keep my team as my family. Like I keep them tied to me, and these past 3 years, they've been hard for sure. But the last two, they've been better. They've been way better. 2021, just because of how like I won the fight, I won the belt. Dana White was there. He signed me. I'm gonna fight for the UFC. Everything was going up, and then your visa and you cannot fight and you have to wait. So everything went downhill really quick. I think 2021 was after my Fury fight. After that, and knowing that I'm not gonna fight and all that, it was a difficult end of the year. Like the other months were horrible, man. Like I was depressed, crying every day, just just constantly depression and like just not knowing what's gonna happen. I was just really lost. And then it's funny, but 2022 hit, and something different hit in my head. I was just like, man, I get out of here, get out of this stupid mood that you have, get out of this depression that you have. Uh, it cost me a lot because it's really hard to get out of the depression, but man, I went through it. I passed hell and back, and then I tell you something start hitting on my head. It's like, hey man, just get ready, get ready, get ready. You don't know if it's gonna happen, so keep getting ready. And 2022, all these 2023 has been about that. It's about like being ready, getting ready, staying sharp, staying on point, and that helped me a lot to for this camp too. Like a lot of people were saying, I was listening too about people were saying that this was short notice and all that. It wasn't short notice. I have 2 months camp. Like I have 8 weeks. I felt really good. And then after that, obviously the 2 years, but not even close to a short call. It was actually like not even close to a short notice. That's what I'm saying. Like it was pretty good. It was a pretty good camp. On top of those 2 years, and training, man, training honestly is what keeps you positive. Moving your body, knowing that you did what you have to do that day, like it just started getting me confident, better, like happy about being in the gym. Because my biggest problem was that, like, man, I didn't have energy to go. I didn't want to do nothing, and that's what was destroying me inside. It's like, man, I just stay in the house and I don't do nothing. I start getting crazy in the house. But no, man, just showing up, showing up, showing up. Consistency, dedication. Like it just showed me that, man, this is possible. Just keep doing it. I start feeling great, training wise and moving wise, and I was just loving their routine. I fell in love more with the routine than with the bad things happening. So man, that thing just kicked the depression out of me.
Good for you, brother. Good for you. Now, you mentioned your team and how they're like a family. You're training with Team Oyama, some very talented names, including Ardevan Moeni from Combat Americas. You have Roberto Romero, you have Brock Diaz, and of course, Alex Perez, Carla Esparza. In addition, during this camp, you trained at Kings MMA as well with some big names, including Giga Chikadze, Beneil Dariush. Now, what's it like training with these top level fighters, and how have they been helping you improve your game as well?
At the gym, it's amazing. You mentioned two names that for me are really important, not just for this camp, but for the entirety of my career here. That is Ardevan and Robert. Robert is a machine, bro. Like people need to start looking at him too. Robert is just a machine. This kid is it's unstoppable. Like it's really funny to say like that, but this kid is really unstoppable. He have one speed only, and he's gonna put it on everyone. Like it doesn't matter who you are, he's gonna put it on everyone. And there's no better way to get better than with someone like that. Someone who's hungry, someone who just keeps going. He gave me one of the best works here in terms of wrestling, in terms of MMA, in terms of striking. Robert is always there. Robert is just constant, constant, constant. Ardeman is more of a striker, but man, what a magnificent striker. If you think what I do is what I did was nice, like every time I see him is just like I get starstruck. The way that he moved, the way that he managed to hit people, the way that he's really hard to hit. I think that's why I find like a lot of precision and timing for Julian, because Arteman is really hard to hit, bro. It's incredible the way that he moved. He have really good coordination. So man, damn. And those two are my main partners. So like I also have Joaquin Garcia, really good wrestler. He trains with Kings more time than every one of us. But these three guys, man, these three kids just make me that just got me ready for what you saw in the cage. And I have to say thank you a lot to them. Going to Kings, it was different. I had so the reality of why we went to Kings was because Giga asked me. He had to fight against I forgot the name of this guy. His last fight that got canceled. Uh, he asked me, "Hey man, like I need a training partner," and in my head I was like, I got you, bro." But he started giving me, yeah, yeah. But he started giving me a specific things that he wanted, and I realized that it wasn't me. It wasn't me. The body that he was looking, just because I was tall, the guy who he was fighting was shorter. My style is a little bit more moving around and tagging, and I told him I have Robert. I have a guy who's gonna give you the best work ever. So we went to Kings. Robert was specifically going to spar with Giga. So they did hit their rounds in the cage, and then I started just sparring with the people outside of the cage and the other guys over there. I took advantage of it. I was like, let's spar too. Uh, so I sparred with a few really good jiu-jitsu and MMA guys, and then the last round they put me with Beneil Dariush, and I was surprised. This guy is so good, so calm, so collective, and he for sure beat me up for that. He made me sure that he made me know that I was in Kings. So like he beat me up, but the way that they act and the way that they are, like they're so nice. They came Giga and Benny came at us after the sparring and tell us how much they appreciate us. They give us some advice, some things that they say like, "Oh, this you're good in this, you're good in that," and man, I'm like eternally grateful with them. Like if they ever need me, I'll be there for them. Uh, and I know the same and going all the other way. Super nice people, super nice person over there, but for sure when you get into the gym in the gym like that, you feel danger. Like that's how I was explaining it. It's like you go to a Shark Tank, like a real Shark Tank, and everyone everywhere where you look, it's dangerous. Like the Neil, Marvin Vettori, Giga Chikadze. You know, like you were looking around and you see like big names and big people and man, it's incredible to have that experience. That I think that helped me a lot to be how I was in the cage, just calm and being able to represent like that.
Amazing, amazing, and of course, I understand it's still just your first fight in the UFC, excuse me. But the inspiration from other Mexican fighters has to be on another level. Three Mexican champions: Alexa Grasso, Brandon Moreno, Yair Rodriguez. Every fighter imagines at some point having UFC gold around their waist. Have you set any goals or time frames as to when you'd like to see your name mentioned as a possible title contender?
Hell yeah. Maybe times no, I don't. But that's the goal. That's the ending goal. That's what I want. That's what I've been wanting since I'm a little kid. Even before training. It's funny because I have a picture of Cain Velasquez in my Facebook as my as the wall picture, and he's holding the belt. And in the in the picture, one of my friends told me like if I like UFC, and I put yes, I would love to fight there. And then I have one of my closest friends at the time of at that time on middle school. He put in the picture. He's like, "Nah, Fernando, don't think about that. You're Mexican. You have to make it through uh the Mexican companies first. It's like the UFC is too much." Man, looking back and see that, it's like, man, I'm here now. Like, you know, I'm here. What you were saying was wrong. And the title has always been the goal. The title has always been that goal. Like, I wanted to fight in the UFC. I wanted to fight for that belt, and that's still the goal. The first step is already there, but that's how it is. I know you wanted to ask me about my nickname, the tattoo, but it comes with this. So I know if someone believes in me, it's me. Like if someone really, really believes in what I can do and what I want to do, it's me. Like there's nobody else who believes more in themselves than me. And I put it on my tattoo. So they start calling me El Valiente because I got a tattoo on the right side of my arm. Um, they used to have a lot of nicknames for me back in Chihuahua. The octopus, just the way that I was moving on jiu-jitsu. Pandilla, like my last name, they were using it to do like really funny things like Pandilla, Pesadilla. My old coach used to call me Pesadilla. That means nightmare in English. Pandilla is more like the hood, but it's just one N on my name. So one of my coaches used to say is like every time I roll with you, you're like the entire hood. It's like your arms are two people, your legs are another two people. It's like I'm getting beat up by a lot of people. So it was funny, you know. I had a bunch of nicknames, but neither of them got stuck to me. Like neither of them people like keep talking and keep saying that like nickname till I got the tattoo. I guess that the two you start making them say my name, say the nickname. But that the two is it's El Valiente from the lottery cards. That is a Mexican game. He has a lot of things personal, like he's on his bones because I've been always the skinny dude for my mom and my dad, El Flaco. He had the green eyes because me and my dad and my grandma have the same green eyes. Obviously, he's always carrying two things. In his right hand, he carries a sword or a knife, and in the left hand, he carries like a cover of bed cover or something. So my right hand is my sword for sure. He have it, but I took the cover away and I put the UFC belt there. I was 18 when I did this, and I told myself, "It's like, man, when you win it, you're gonna fill it up." And yeah, that's why the belt has been always the goal.
That's
Even
amazing.
before it, man.
We can't wait for the interview to see that belt filled up.
Hell yeah, man. Honestly, it's been a long time, and I'm gonna keep pushing forward towards it. You know.
Yes, sir. Best of luck with that. Big news
Thank
for
you.
Mexico as well. The UFC recently announced another Mexican fighter is getting a shot at the belt, with Irene Aldana recently being called in as a
Senor.
replacement for Juliana Pena to fight Amanda Nunes at UFC 289. Do you have any predictions on that fight, and do you think Aldana can manage to beat Nunes?
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. I think if Irene stay calm and work his game, work her game little by little, she can do the same thing that Alexa did for a fact. I think Irene pack a good amount of power on his on her punches. And for sure she can clap. I mean, if Juliana Pena was tagging Amanda Nunes, like they just have to sit down, watch the film, study right, and I think Irene can catch her. Her hands are good. Her hands are powerful. For that division. You just need to be careful with that heavy right hands or overhooks that Amanda throw. Uh, but I think they pretty. It's a pretty good matchup, man. I think that was already made, and then they took it away and made the Juliana Pena again. Because they were going to be on the same card as Alexa Grasso and Jair, I think so. And then they took that fight away, and they give Juliana the opportunity again. And then, man, destiny happened for a reason. You never know. And
We'll see.
I truly believe that Irene have the possibility. It's not a all way. Oh man, Amanda's just gonna beat her up. Nowadays, like I don't think like that about Amanda no more. I feel that before was like, man, Amanda is like a man. Amanda can hit like a man, and Amanda is destroying women like that. And but with the passing, with the time that's been passing, I feel that more women are getting physically stronger and physically more like like this is MMA. Like man, Amanda Nunes against Juliana Pena too. That was a dog fight.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
guys can say everything, and Amanda Nunes was tagging her a lot, but Juliana Pena never stopped. Man, she
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
there, and
She held her own.
I expect. Exactly, and I expect the same out of Irene. Like Irene, I know she's strong. She have that Mexican pride, and she have those hands, man. Those hands are weapons, and she knows how to use them right. So
Yeah.
I'm going
And
with Irene all the way, all the way.
yeah, we can't wait for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Fernando El Valiente Padilla, up and coming UFC featherweight. I guarantee this is a name you will be hearing much more often in the very near future. Follow him on Instagram, El Valiente MMA. Stay posted here for all the latest news on your favorite MMA fighters. Fernando, thank you so much for your time, sir. It's truly been a
No,
pleasure
thank you,
speaking
man.
with you. My man, we wish you all the best going forward and hope to hear some fight news soon. Hell
Thank you,
yeah.
brother. I hope too, and just stay tuned. I will let you know for a fact.